Hey guys, this is the Stupendous Wave here with a video today, and in this one I'm going to do a trained Velociraptors explained. Now this is inspired by an article Screen Rant wrote. It's absolutely brilliant. If you want to read it, it will be in the description. So they came up with this idea, and I just kind of wanted to add my 2 cents to it, but it really is a great article, and I really recommend you guys read it. So anyway, I just want to, and I will be pulling from the article as I go on through my video. So I just kind of want to give my 2 cents on the trained raptors and what some of it might mean and Owen's relationship between these various raptors. So I want to start off with a quote from Colin himself. He says, "Owen's relationship with the raptors is complicated. They're not friends. These animals are nasty and dangerous, and they'll bite your head off if you make a wrong move." Now I'm going to stop there. When he says bite your head off if you make a wrong move, I really think that he's talking about being too assertive or not assertive enough. Because if, as this article suggests, and actually what I've said in earlier videos, Owen is most likely the alpha male in this pack. Now in the first movie, we saw that the Velociraptors absolutely obeyed the alpha male, and that I assume she killed all the ones, or the big one in the first movie, killed all of the other Velociraptors that weren't completely obedient and loyal to her. So I think Owen is really trying to be assertive because, as we've seen before, to be an alpha male in a Velociraptor pack, you have to be very assertive. And if you're too assertive, we've seen like in The Lost World when the 2 Velociraptors began to fight, it can end up in a fight and end up in possibly Owen's death. And if he's not assertive enough, the Velociraptors will definitely overtake him, and there could very well be another pack leader that arises if Owen's not being assertive enough. So that's really interesting, and as Robert Muldoon pointed out, they will obey it, and it's the big one, and that she is the leader, hands down. She tells them where to go, what to do, and we saw that also in Jurassic Park 3. We saw that the leader, the alpha female, was giving the orders to the others, and it was really in charge of everything. Very, very assertive, but again, not being too assertive, because again, in The Lost World, the 2 Velociraptors did get in a fight over whether to eat Julianne Moore's character or not, if you guys remember that scene. So another theory that is brought up in this article is that Owen has been there since birth, so he's formed a connection with these dinosaurs. Now I think that this is a great theory, and establishing dominance right away with these Velociraptors is imperative, because if he's there and he establishes himself when they're smaller or less dominant, then he can form that relationship with them early on. And it makes total sense that the Velociraptors would definitely be smart enough to train in this Jurassic Park universe, because even Dr. Grant stated in Jurassic Park 3 that they're smarter than dolphins and primates, which are 2 of the smartest animals alive on the earth today. And both of those animals can be trained. Sometimes there are incidents with those animals, but they can be trained. So there's every reason to suggest that a Velociraptor could be trained. Also, though, both of those animals, while being fierce and dominant in their own right, are nowhere near as fierce and dominant as the Velociraptors that Jurassic Park has portrayed to us. So I really think that Owen needs to be careful when he is, and of course he knows he's going to be careful. But to me, it makes total sense that these animals could be trained, or not really trained, but form a relationship between them, because dolphins can do tricks, primates can do tricks, even primates can learn to bring things to you, and dolphins can jump up in the air on command and do a whole bunch of stuff. So if the Velociraptors are as smart as previously stated, which I believe that they are, it makes total sense that Owen would be able to not really control them, but aim them almost as the pack leader. Now, someone else has been pointing, a lot of people have been pointing this out to me, like they think it's stupid that he's on the motorbike, and I totally disagree. We've seen raptors run together before. We've seen them run together in the brush in The Lost World, and we saw them run in the forest or the jungle in Jurassic Park 3. So it makes total sense that Owen being on a bike, he could move at the same speed as them. Now, it starts off in the scene that we see, of course. Owen is in the front, and then another Velociraptor kind of overtakes him a little bit. Now, this is really interesting to me because most of the time the alpha males would be in the front. You would think that they would be in the front. Not the alpha males, but the alpha would be in the front. So to me, this Velociraptor overtaking him in this ride, why it might seem trivial to a lot of people, and it might just be trivial, it's kind of a little bit of foreshadowing. And I'm also going to be talking about the picture or an image that we saw in the Super Bowl trailer that might also be hinting at a Velociraptor uprising in the Raptor squad on the Jurassic World park. So another thing is that Henry Wu, originally in the book, and Screen Rant points this out, wanted to make these dinosaurs less fierce. They wanted to make them slower. Now, I'm not saying these Velociraptors are slower, but we definitely know that they're different and that they no longer contain frog DNA. They are mixed up of bird DNA, and I forget the other type of DNA. I think it was possibly alligator DNA. Don't quote me on that, I could be wrong. But it's what filled in the blanks instead of frogs. Now, they might have tampered with the Velociraptors a little bit and changed it so they're less aggressive. We also see that they're definitely the largest pack of raptors that we've ever seen, not in like their numbers, but as far as their muscle mass. So this might have slowed them down a little bit. Now, I definitely think this is less likely than the other two, but it's still a possibility that Henry Wu decided to not make them a little bit less fearsome, less aggressive after, of course, Hammond passed away. And so that's another theory, although I don't think that it's super. I think the other ones definitely fit better with him being the alpha male, and I think that it's interesting mixing them in and making them a little bit less tame, more tame, but I'm not sure if I'm an absolute fan of that, but we'll have to see. But that's just another theory. So going back to the Raptors overtaking Owen in the motorbike. Now, as we see in the Super Bowl trailer, it appears that Delta, Charlie, and Blue are all around Owen in that one scene, and Delta and Charlie are off to the sides, and they just seem to be a little bit more submissive. And Blue, however, is standing right in the middle, staring Owen down still, and he's in attack position. He's crouched over, and we've seen the Velociraptors attack in that position before. To me, Delta and Charlie definitely seem more submissive. They're backing off, although they are moving to the side of Owen, which could lead to an attack. They're not hunched over in an attack position. On the other hand, Blue is completely hunched over, and it looks like he's really almost, or she, excuse me, is almost really ready to attack Owen. Now, this is possibly another hint to the Velociraptor uprising, is what I'm going to be calling it. Possibly Blue taking over as the alpha of the pack leader, testing Owen. And I also believe that Blue is the Velociraptor that overtakes Owen on the motorbike. So this could be leading to the Velociraptors going rogue in the end, Blue becoming the alpha, and Owen kind of being brushed aside. And if Owen stood up to the alpha, which would be Blue, it could spell disaster for him. So anyway, I hope this video has helped explain a little bit about the trained Velociraptors, what it means. Now, as far as what they can be doing, there's theories that they're kind of used for security to keep other dinosaurs in line. However, I do not think that they would be trained enough to do all that. We do know Owen kind of lets them out as a last resort to help him hunt down the I-Rex, but we see that it's definitely not his first pick to do, so we can assume that he's pretty apprehensive at the same time, being able to let these Velociraptors out and help him hunt down the I-Rex. But nonetheless, these Velociraptors are extremely interesting. We're fairly certain that they're not a park attraction because they're not on the brochure, so they're clearly being used for something else. So leave in the comments what you guys think. What are the Velociraptors being used for? What do you think about trained raptors? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and have a great day.